Hello, hi everybody, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us to our webinar. Today we will be discussing the legal mandates coming up in Poland this year and all that it assumes and provides for the companies. So, first of all, for the ones who don't know us, we're Code10 IT and we came out of the technical area of SAP. We are a niche company specialized not only in SAP nowadays. We move out of SAP, and one of our specialties is e-compliance, electronic invoicing, and tax reporting, mostly from SAP systems. So let's get back to business right away. So first of all, the KSeF Poland, the electronic invoicing in Poland, the KSeF is the hot topic nowadays. For the ones that I believe that everybody here already knows about KSeF. What is it? What's it for? Why is it happening? And that it's happening right now. So I won't get into too much detail on it, but I would really like to just throw in some quick facts about it. So the KSeF portal, the platform, is the national Poland's platform for issuing, receiving, and storing invoices in a structured way so that that portal and the government understands it. It's the FA3 format, that is the new format that is coming into force now with the KSeF 2.0 version. The issued invoices should have a QR code, especially for the recipients of these invoices that are outside of the KSeF system and KSeF platform, right? So the logic behind this is that a Polish entity, a Polish company, a Polish taxpayer has access to the KSeF portal and can directly go and check over there their received invoices, right? But if we are issuing an invoice outside of the country to an entity that is not a Polish taxpayer, is not registered there, they need to know that this invoice is valid and it's legal and that has been approved by the government portal, right? So for this, we need to include a QR code with the KSeF reference number that will allow our customers to validate this invoice and to know that it is legal, right? Because as far as you know, I'm sure that without a KSeF number, an invoice that will be issued in Poland will not be valid and will not be legal. So this is where the unique KSeF ID comes into place. This is one part of the identification and the value that the government and the Tax Authority of Poland is generating for an invoice that has been accepted and it's been submitted in the correct way. This also goes for the centralized storage, which is the KSeF portal. It involves certain level of security when accessing there, issuing the invoice and retrieving all this data in the form of certificates and tokens, electronic seals, etc., etc. And the structured invoice format, as I mentioned, nowadays is the FA3, which is the third version as the name itself suggests. So the key deadlines for the KSeF mandate is now, right? Now is the time, now is the period to talk and to implement and just start using KSeF. So 1st of February is the mandatory go live date and implementation date for the large taxpayers. Here we are including all the companies that have the sales for 2024 over 200 million PLN, Polish zloty. The next wave would be for the rest VAT taxpayers on April this year, 2026, where 1st of January 2027 is when the rest, well, the micro businesses will fall into the mandate themselves. So this is the calendar as of today, official for the KSeF 2.0. As you all know, before it was available for usage KSeF 1.0 portal on the voluntary basis, but now it becomes mandatory. And now it goes on a mandatory phase with the 2.0 version. So right now we are in the middle of the technical break and the environment for production KSeF 1.0 is no longer available. And we are the government actually is now preparing for the big go live on the 1st of February, which is at the time of this recording in 2 days. So what we can do right now. So we have the demo system available for testing, the test KSeF system available for testing. And as of 28th of January until the 31st, the certificates for the production environment will also be available for testing. So we will be able to check if all the certificates that we have received and have generated for accessing the portal as a representation for a certain legal entity, if they are valid or not, and if everything is working as expected before the big go live date. Then we have the next milestone on the 1st of April, as I mentioned, and the 1st of January 2027. JPK Poland is the other part of the coin, right? So for this year, we are finding the mandatoriness for implementation of the JPK PD, or the income taxes files for JPK. As you know, JPK VAT has already been made mandatory for a while now in Poland. And apart from that mandatory file submitted monthly or quarterly, there were 5 other files that were being provided to the government on demand. Whenever they demanded, the company would generate this file and report to them. However, starting now with the JPK PD, or the incoming tax file, the SAF-T file, it will be mandatory to issue these files or to submit them to the government once a year. The 2 most important ones are the KRPD, which is the accounting book, and this is most important in a sense for the big companies, right? For the ones that it applies. So we have the KRPD, which is the accounting book, and the STKR, which are the fixed assets and the intangible assets for the taxpayers who are submitting the KRPD file. So these will be mandatory to be generated from a computer system, in a digital way, and submitted to the government in the same digital way. The key deadlines. Which ones are they and for who they refer to? So to be submitted in 2026 are the corporate income tax taxpayers with revenue in the previous tax year exceeding 50 million euros, and for the financial year that started after the 31st of December 2024. And same thing, but a year later, after December 31st, 2025 fiscal year, for the rest of the taxpayers. And they are also obliged to submit the JPK VAT for every month, so for monthly periods. To be submitted in 2026 means that by the 25th of March, we are obliged to submit the whole year's JPK PD files. So how do these 2 mandates or legal requirements come together? Because the whole point of these rules provided by governments, not only the Polish one, is to make the taxes, the whole calculations easier and faster for everybody, and to have it in a structured way, an organized way, so they don't miss anything and everything is legal, and they make sure that everybody is doing their part, right? So JPK and the KSeF are not just random legal mandates. They come together at one crucial point. So when we issue an invoice and it has to pass through KSeF portal, and we have to have a KSeF reference number, makes sense that when we do the VAT reporting, the VAT declaration for the month or the quarter, we need to include this KSeF reference number over there, right? So on the 12th of December last year, there was a ministerial update, a new ministerial order. And here the JPK, VAT and the National Electronic Invoicing System got integrated. So there is a new structure that was announced that day, and that will come into effect on the 1st of February, so together with the KSeF, where amongst other changes, there will be this obligatority to include the KSeF reference number for all the invoices that have been received or issued. So for both parts of JPK, we will have one additional field where we will have to say, okay, this is the KSeF reference number, this has been a valid invoice, even both issued and received. So for this, it comes into force on the 1st of February, the new format of JPK, but of course to submit it to the government, we have until the 25th of March. This is how the dates of JPK VAT go, right? So talking about this is all very general, right? I'm sure that most of you know some of this information, and here Code10 comes into the picture, right? So what we can offer you in terms of implementation of the KSeF, the implementation of JPK files, mandatory or not, we are definitely a reliable partner and all-round support in e-compliance. We offer localization services, we offer solutions that are scalable, easily customizable, and they are compatible with the dynamics of large enterprises, right? So we have implemented a lot of these solutions, not only for Poland, but also for other countries in Europe and in the world. And we know the problematic, and we know how these projects should be handled and how the implementations should go. So we also offer, as we know the problematic, we offer different implementation strategies, because we know that not all companies are the same, and not all companies have the same strategy going forward with e-compliance. So what is important for us is, and what is together the same aspect in all of these implementations, is our holistic view of e-compliance. We are aware that electronic invoicing, tax reporting, etc., is not the core of the business of all companies, right? This is something that is a legal requirement. Everybody has to go through it. So we try to make it as less painful as possible for our customers, keep it easy for them, and just go through it, because it's something that we all have to do, right? So we need to be always one step ahead, having in mind that systems, ERPs are very dynamic. They can grow, they can change, they can be upgraded. Companies acquire other companies, they do mergers, etc. So we are talking about very dynamic environment and very dynamic landscape that has to adapt to all of these new changes and legal requirements that are coming up. So what do we mean by different implementation strategies? So we work with SAP. We are SAP consultants, we are SAP experts, and we implement the standard SAP solutions. So the DRC on-premise and cloud edition, especially for Poland, right? And for all the other legal requirements and mandates. We know the solution back and forth with all the new implementations. We are already going live these days with some of those. However, if our clients don't want to go through a standard SAP solution, that's also fine. We have used our knowledge and experience. We have developed our own e-compliance hub, which is an extractor. It works to extract all data from SAP, move them to a UBL XML format file, communicate this file either through our integration platform as a service, or the middleware of our customer, or connection to a broker like in Kemiakosi or Edicom, to the tax agency, and receive the response back to SAP. So, as I said, Poland has been a very hot topic lately, and it will be at least until April or middle of this year. But there are a lot of other topics coming along, and a lot of new projects to be implemented throughout it, not only this year, but in the years to follow. So we have Poland with both KSeF and the SAF-T news, let's say, new implementations. We have Belgium this year. France in September is joining the electronic invoicing family. We have Germany next year. And very, very big news from Spain. We have e-faktura and the B2B Ley Crece electronic invoicing also coming next year. Well, at the end of this year, 1st of January 2027, and probably middle of 2027 for the B2B electronic invoicing. Still waiting on the final legislation for that. And going forward, we cannot forget about VIDA. That is the European mandate that will affect all of us. So we are here to help you. We have all, if not all, most of the information on our web. You can visit, you can contact us, and please, if you're interested in any of these solutions possibilities, we can schedule, we'll be more than happy to schedule a demo. If you are searching for any specific information on a country, you can check our web, and if you don't find the information, just please let us know. There is a form over there you can fill out, and we can update the information, let you know, and provide you with the latest update on the matter that you're interested in. So thank you very much. Here we have our webpage and my email address. Please feel free to contact me. Now, if we have any questions, just please, Anna.
Yes, we have two questions. So the first one is about JPK VAT. This new format that comes into effect from February 1st, it will include the KSeF reference number.
Correct.
What happens to companies that will not be in KSeF until April and will issue this invoice?
Okay, that's a great question. Thank you for that. So yes, the structure of the new JPK file, the new format, will have the place to include this KSeF reference number, right? But the government has provided some fixed values that can be placed there or should be placed there whenever this KSeF reference number is lacking. So it can be BRAC, it can be, there are a few values over there that are made available. So they thought about that. And yeah, it's just a matter of using the structure, the correct structure, and the information that is there. If it is available, we should put it, and if not, we should indicate that to the government, and they will just update it accordingly.
Perfect, thank you. And the second question is about tokens. So are tokens still a valid option for the authentication of KSeF 2.0?
Okay, yes and no. Okay, so for KSeF 1.0, the token was the only way of authenticating and doing the APIs and so on, doing the integration. However, for the KSeF 2.0, there is the option of tokens, but they are not the same. So we have to generate a new token for KSeF 2.0, and this token will be available and we can use it. It will be a valid way to authenticate ourselves, but only until the end of this year. So 31st of December, it will be deprecated, and we will have to continue with the certificates for KSeF 2.0 further on.
Perfect.
Great. So if there are no other questions, I want to thank you very much for your attention. And as I said, you have our contact details, and please, if you need any further information on the SAP implementations, notes, etc., do let us know. Thank you very much.